So in the vault, it's just 3 questions that you could help teach my generation from your trials and tribulations and what you learned throughout your life. So the first question is what's something that your parents taught you at a young age that's has stuck with you till this day?
I mean, look, I've been really lucky with parents. I mean, they're still teaching me stuff, and I'm 42. So I think you appreciate a lot of things, but I think that they're both very grounded people, and they just go about what they do every day, and I think that's the most important. And so, kind of immigration is a funky experience, to be honest, because you go into a new place, you don't speak the language, the culture is foreign, a lot of stuff is new and really scary, to be honest. And I think, but I never felt looking at them that something will go wrong. Um, I think you feel confidence because you see confidence, and it's not as if they were superhuman. They made all the usual mistakes that everybody else does, but they stayed at it. And I think that's probably the best thing you can learn.
That's good. Next question is, can you name 1 or 2 wealth holders or high net worth individuals that have influenced your life in a positive way? Who were they and what did you learn from them?
I think that people. I mean, I think wealth, I think, is one of those things where if you define it in purely financial terms, I think that's probably a mistake. Um, because I mean, imagine most people, that's not the end point. I think it's a great tool for sure. I mean, I think everybody would like that financial goal. Um, I, th- I think the people that I learned the most from are the ones who really understood why they were doing what they were doing. And I think that came across in all of their actions. Um, so, I mean, I've met some truly outstanding people, and I had the chance to work with some truly outstanding people, um, kind of in the course of things. Um, and I think the best thing you can do is just take from each person the things that make sense to you without asking them to be more than what they can be. Because everybody has strengths, everybody has weaknesses, and so I think the more that you kind of get in touch with what makes sense to you, then you can cherry pick from each person what fits the puzzle for yourself without deifying them or asking them to be more than a man or a woman, because I think there's a big temptation.
I'm so happy that our first guest is mentioned something that I wanted to drive home on this podcast is that wealth does not mean money. And I think you're so right about that. It's a means to an end, but what is that end? And you have to find that on your own. And money ain't gonna solve any problem. Well, it will solve problems, but not all your problems.
I think if you're not careful, it can create a lot of problems that you'll have trouble solving, um, because I don't think you can replace um, essential things that you have to kind of work on yourself. And I think people with wealth, financial wealth, sometimes do fall into that trap of thinking that it in and of itself can solve problems or make them something, kind of give them a shortcut, but that's generally not how things are. So I think everybody learns that the hard way sometimes.
No, for sure. So that's great advice for people my age. But is there any other advice you could share for the 25-year-olds and the young people listening out there?
Listen, it's advice is one of those things. I mean, I can only tell you what I've learned,
Hmm.
at least what I think I've learned. Um, I think I think the most important thing is just to kind of not expect too much from yourself, because you want to set a direction. Obviously, I think you want to achieve certain things. I think that's probably a human condition as there is. But I think a lot of the time people, people don't succeed at it because they beat themselves up for not being perfect or for not doing the things that they think they should be doing and the like. And I think no matter, you know, the every person that you see, you know, that seems to have something. There's a lot of trial and error in that process, and I think just understanding that that's going to be a part of it and kind of being as easy in yourself as you can in that, I think will probably make it much more likely for you to accomplish the things you want to accomplish.
Perfect. Thank you for that, Alex. I'll leave it uh, for you now to close off and talk about anything about Nova Royalty, any exciting news that you're allowed to share, or anything that you want to leave with our listeners, and how they can get in touch with Nova and yourself.
Well, look, I mean, I think we've we've we're building a company that we think can be a great way to participate in this energy transition. Um, and you know, we're not trying to be all things to all people. We're focusing on this specific sector. We've built it to be a great company. We've really started with what we think are premier deposits, which I think create a great foundation for us, both for the existing investors and for other royalty owners who want to invest into Nova to participate in what we're doing. So I think we have an opportunity to be um, a true participant in what is happening. And you know, we don't really want to do anything else. I think one thing I think that is super pleasing for me to be a part of this and with the other people here is that everybody really wants to be here. Everybody knows why we're doing this. Everybody sees the opportunity, and I think it's a great team to be a part of. So it's assets, it's a team, it's focus. I think it's very transparent what we've done. We're always very happy to answer questions from potential investors. If people want to get in touch with us on the website, you know, there's contact info and they can send questions to the info of Nova and we'll respond quite quickly. So, you know, we welcome investors as a part of the journey. We'd love to have people who see what we see. We're not in a position to provide short-term trading stock tips, but, but we'll certainly do the best we can to tell people why we do what we do.
Mm-hmm. One thing I want to share with the listeners is that I'm new to investing. I've been investing for about 4 or 5 years or so, but when I invest, I subscribe to the newsletters. And if you don't know that, subscribe to the investments newsletters that you're invested in so you're up to date. But Nova Royalty was the first company that reached out to me and said, do you have any questions? Do you want to schedule a call and talk about this investment or this opportunity? And I think that's great what you guys did there.
Yeah, look, I think you know, it's, you know, we view our investors as, you know, um, we view our investors as a really part of the journey and the company and the like, and so we try to help them and be as transparent as possible about what we're doing. So if anybody has questions, we're always happy to answer them. And you know, we want to have people invested here for the next 20 years. That'll be the goal. You know, so the more people want to do that, I think the happier we would be for sure.
Well, I think you're very transparent with this uh, podcast here. So I'd like to thank you again for being the first guest, and thank you.
My pleasure. Thank you very much, Kyle. Have a great one.